lonesome if you move in your dad's house?
Calling this meeting to order. We have a full quorum. The prayer tonight is Vice Mayor Green. Pledge of Allegiance is by Alderman Brown. Please rise.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, for the beautiful weather that you've given us, and we have been so blessed that even though it's going to be warm, we've all been waiting for this, and we thank you, Lord, for all the blessings you give to us. And most of all, Lord, we just thank you for the giving your only Son to die for you, so that if we do your will, we'll be able to live with you forever. We thank you for this city. We thank you for our citizens, and we thank you for this board, Lord, and all that everybody does. And we just pray that everybody can live a life that would be pleasing, not only to you, but to all of us. And help us all, Lord, to be a person that is willing to do your will, willing to help and help along the way. And most of all, we thank you for the people that are less fortunate in the many places where there's just wars and all things going on. People that don't have food to eat, help us to be aware and be willing to share with what we have. These things we ask in your name. Amen.
Face the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Need a motion to approve the minutes for April 7th, 2015 regular meeting and April 21st, 2015 special meeting.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carries. Number 2, we moved into department reports. Fire department. Ricky.
Mayor, Alderman. For the month of April 2015, we had a total of 240 calls. That consisted of 3 structure fires, 27 fire alarms, 1 vehicle fire, 2 grass fires, 3 hazardous materials calls, 21 motor vehicle accidents, 158 medical calls, 17 emergency miscellaneous calls, and 8 canceled en route. Our average response time for April 2015 was 3.1 minutes, and total water consumption was 320,000 gallons. I'd like to speak with you all here for just a minute, and for all the citizens that watch this recorded and are watching it live. We had a rather large church fire over the weekend. It would seem that myself and the mayor have been approached, and one of our fire stations crews was approached by a citizen and asked, how exactly do you let a church burn down next to a fire hall? Okay. I'm going to let the operations chief from that night, I was out of town, I'm going to let Operations Chief Culberson, Assistant Chief Culberson, come up and see if we can explain a little bit to people so that you will understand, because we want the public to understand that we do everything that we can possibly do to save human life. You all know that. I've stood up here and fought against people that want to change the sprinkler ordinances because I feel like it saves human lives and property. That's our job. It's what we do. It's what you hire us to do. I hope that's what you've hired us to do. It's what we strive for anyway. I'm going to let Chief Culberson speak a little bit, though, in hopes that the public and the council and the people in this room here tonight can understand that not every fire and every structure or every human being is able to be saved on every occasion. It's a balance. You have to weigh what you have before you when you get there versus what the final outcome will be. Losing 4 firefighters for a building that is empty is not worth it. I hate that church burnt. Hate it even worse that it burnt next door to a fire station. But the thing is we have 4 firemen that are here tonight. That building collapsed right after they got on the scene. That's 4 firemen here tonight that we're not going to their funerals. We are here to save people's property and their lives. It's what we do. We do it every single day. That's what they do. I appreciate everything that the former board has done for the fire department. There's 2 beautiful pieces of equipment sitting out in the parking lot for everybody tonight. I urge you to go out and take a look at the equipment that we've purchased. I would also urge everybody in the city, though, to come by and see myself, come by and see Chief Culberson, Chief Clark. Come by and see the firefighters and sit and talk to us. We hide nothing. There's already slanderous comments out on social media about, I pay an $80 water bill. You've got your shiny, pretty new fire trucks now. Could I get the road in front of my house paved? I've been here for 31 years. I've been here since I was 16 years old. It's my home. I've raised my children here, and my child now is raising his children here. The feuds that are going on between past administrations, current administrations, citizens in this community, you've all raised me. All of you, every one of you. Mayor Walter, Vice Mayor Green, Tom, Cena Mosley. I've been to people's homes. I'm begging y'all, not as the fire chief of this city, but as me, a citizen of Laverne. I'm begging everybody to stop. It needs to stop. I love you all, every one of you, every single one of you. If the builders think it's easy for me to stand up here and see that they have struggles because of the sprinkler ordinance, it's all I've ever known my whole life. I've pulled people out of their homes dead on Christmas night. I've been in intensive care 3 times from doing that job. My wife never knows when I'm coming home and when I'm not. These gentlemen over here, these law enforcement officers over here, the things that I see the squabbles over every single day in social media and out here in this community that I have loved my whole life are getting slammed every single day. I am begging everybody, please. And this may be totally inappropriate, but I don't think so. It's my home. It's always going to be my home. So I'm asking everybody to please, let's put everything aside. All this time that we spend trying to destroy the other side or the group or whatever it is that we're trying to destroy or get rid of, how about we bring all that together for one time and we make it work for every single body in this city? I'm sorry. Chief Culberson.
You don't need to be sorry, Ricky.
I love this town and I love everybody in it. I don't take sides. It's what I do. It's all I've ever known how to do. It's what every one of them has taught me to do. Dennis, Cena, all of you. That's all y'all have ever taught me, is to be good to people. I don't know any different. But I'm going to get off of that, and I want Chief Culberson and Chief Clark. They were on the scene that night. I was with the new equipment in Pigeon Forge, showing off and being proud for my community of what you've all come together to help us do. But I want them to try to explain a little bit about how that fire was and the reason why it happened the way that it happened, so that people will understand, because I know they don't do what we do, so they don't know. But hopefully we can clarify that just a little bit, so I'm going to let them speak for the rest of this. And I appreciate y'all's time, and I do apologize for going off on my own personal rant. So,
Thank you, Ricky.
yes, sir.
Thank you, Ricky. Mr. Mike?
This is an aerial photo of actually the church. In case a lot of people don't know, there's 3 congregations meeting in this church. I've got a
You ain't right.
You got a gun. Yes, sir. Now, there's no way to determine, based on information, your fire originated somewhere in this circle. I'm not going to get into what caused it or caused noise, because right now I don't know. If you'll notice, in your roof lines, this is what's called as a common cockloft or a common attic. There's no stops in it. This fire had been burning a while. This church sets off, it's secluded. Nobody going down Waldron Road could see it. Probably had to be seen from I-24, and you know how fast they go. So when the crews first got there, the first crew in, bear in mind the fire station's right along here. In fact, that may be the top of it right there. Fire was ballooning out of this roof right along in there. Ladies and gentlemen, fire is an evil thing. Fire will always travel the path of least resistance. So when it goes up, it looks for open space, or what's known in the fire service as void space. Imagine this void, much like this ceiling. Everybody look up. How high is this ceiling? 20 feet? What if we dropped it 8 foot, 8 or 9? Think about all the void space upstairs and what's in it. It's air. You got rafters, it's wood. This building was totally wood construction, referred to in the fire service as ordinary, just much like your homes. Chief Clark was one of the first ones in. I happened to be at my residence. But the first company in, fire was ballooned out here. Partial roof collapse already started right here. That's one of the 10 commandments of the fire department. You got a roof collapse and you don't mess with it. Because one part fails, it can all fail. Shortly after I arrived, about 15 minutes, 20 minutes later, this roof came in. I mean, fire was blowing out everywhere. The way it traveled was it hit all these void spaces and just took off, much like a gasoline fire where you make a trail and light it with a match. Now we're going to do a little math. Here's your math. Fire extinguishment is governed by 2 things. Don't care what professors say. I don't care what the book says. The books, most of the time, are wrote below snotty-nosed brats that's never been on the end of a hose, if you don't know the truth. Anybody look at that building and tell you how big it is? Take a guess. The building's about 12,000 square feet. So the math would indicate if that back corner is on fire, it's 25% involved. 1/4 of the building is how we assess fire. 4 quarters make $1. Easy way to remember it. The mathematics, algebraic fireground mathematics, 12,000 square feet divided by 3 is 4,000, right, Justin? You just got out of college, right? Well, you're in college. So am I right? So what's 1/4 of 4,000? Don't let your daddy know. What's 4,000 divided by 4?
1,000.
Thank you. So it takes 1,000 gallons of water to put out that fire initially. Just what you see. Fire will quadruple in size if it's got proper fuel, heat, and oxygen. Quadruple in size every minute. So now realistically in the fire service, time they stop, park the truck, get on their air pack, pull the hose, it's already gained steam on it. They don't have 1,000 gallons of water on the truck. So when you pull the hose, the biggest truck on there is 250 gallons. Take 4 of them to get 1,000 gallons. Now they only got they got 1,000 gallon tank. So you got 1 minute, right, of water. Roof's already coming in. Chief Clark made a decision there. It's called a defensive fire. Nobody goes in. It's the name of the game. I hate to say this, and I may lose my job after I say this, but there is not a building in this community that's worth a scab on any one of them's finger.
Everybody have that?
That's the way it is. Two things govern fire, water and people. They went in with 4 people and not enough firepower. It's kind of like you turn your faucet on and it takes 5 minutes to run an 8-ounce glass of water. That's what they were up against. Now, this building kept growing and growing and growing. We called Smyrna. After I arrived, Chief Clark and I worked together, brought in an arrow from Smyrna, brought in a pumper. They hooked a 4-inch line to the fire hydrant in front of the Waldron Road Fire Station. We had water then, but it was too late. The people that complain, the people that come up and jump my guys at the fire station, you need to come see me, because I'm going to talk to them. And if you can do it any better, here's my badge. But I will say it again. That's what happened. You have to make a call, risk versus gain. What am I risking and what am I gaining? Folks, I don't like to wear ties. I told my wife sitting right back there, the day I die, if you bury me in a tie, I believe it choked me to death. I don't like attending firefighter funerals. And I buried one. And it wasn't pleasant. Because I'm the one that had to dress him back in the funeral parlor. Put all his brass on right. I made the call, I'll stand by it. Don't blame Chief McCormick. You blame me, I'm the one that made it. But the guys didn't have enough firepower. It all changed last night. And when those trucks get in business, we'll have 5-inch hose. We'll take the water main out from under the ground and put it on top. Then you'll see firefighting with the right ammunition. Any questions? I'm good. Anybody?
Yeah, you guys do a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Moving on to police. Chief Walker.
Culberson know that I also have orange handcuffs too. I know you're not. That's the reason I got them. Amen to all the above. I will tell you this much. March the 1st, 1974 is when I really began seriously fighting fire. I was a volunteer, but I did that. How many years ago was that? 41 years ago. I've been blown out of a structure fire, a home, a large ranch. In one bedroom, we were searching for a man that we couldn't find. We were assisting another volunteer fire department, Walden's Ridge Emergency Services on Signal Mountain. I've been blown out of the front of an old skating rink that had become a Massey Ferguson farm implement tractor dealership. And seen some pretty good fires. That one last Thursday night was a dandy. I had left here, gone back over to the office, worked a little bit, went out. A couple of guys were coming in for midnight shift, 8:53s when tones went out. I was sitting in my car and I heard it. I asked dispatch them. Once everybody got dispatched on, I asked them the location again. It was 599 Waldron. Well, I need to be headed toward home anyway. I'd already gotten a couple of phone calls about, where are you? Well, about an hour into it, I had to call and say, just want to let you know I'm going to be late. When I pulled up right there as you turned in. We started blocking everything off on Waldron because we had to have the access. We had to protect the area where Smyrna could get in, where any Middle Tennessee Electric could get in. And they had supply lines they had to lay in the road. And when I pulled up, that very back corner that Mike showed you a minute ago had already vented, which means it had already broken through. And before I could blink my eyes twice, the flames, I would estimate about 150 feet in the air there, which means it was like a blowtorch. I've seen a lot of firefighting. That's some of the best I've seen in a long time. They did an awesome job with what they had. They dropped 2.5-inch lines off one hydrant down, actually north of the turn-in, and then Smyrna went to the top. They had dropped that 4-inch line. And to be honest with you, that 4-inch, correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, has a lot less friction loss than those 2.5s put together, so you're getting more GPMs off that one line, 4-inch. Imagine what it's going to be with a 5-inch LDH. They did a really good job. I was proud of them. And a lot of folks worked really good together through the night and then all the next day too. You have our report for the month. If anyone has any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. The very last one, I believe I'm right, Bruce, is the 2014 TBI crimes report for Laverne. I believe it's that last one.
Page 22 of the.
Okay. There it is. Should be that one. Yeah, that's it. That's the last one that just came out. That's the final version with some fixing done to some errors that we had before. But I can tell you that March, we had 0 errors in our submission for the month of March. That hasn't happened but a handful of times since I've been here at Laverne. So that's pretty good. We're headed that direction, getting some things fixed with it. Got a long way to go. I need to tell you that next Friday afternoon, again, Carry the Load's coming. They should be here sometime approaching the city limits. They're estimating around 4 o'clock. It could be a hair before, it could be a little after. It's kind of a fluid situation with them because they're walking, and it may take longer depending on a stop somewhere or whatever, but we're going to start looking for them seriously about 4. And be prepared about 30 minutes prior to that. And they'll be here and they'll make us stop here as they always do. And we'll do a brief thing over here at the gazebo and watch over them, wish them well. We want everybody to come and participate, especially veterans. Somebody said that Tom Brokaw said World War II veterans were a part of the greatest generation. And I don't disagree with that at all. I'm a product of one of those old sailors that served in the South Pacific in World War II. But I'll tell you this, all those who have served since that time and even before were the best of their generations. Vicki looked at me the other night. We were watching a thing about the Vietnam War, and she says those folks never were given the respect or the credit and the honor they deserved, and that's so right.
You're right.
I was just a hair young, but I grew up during the 60s, graduated from high school in the early 70s, actually the second year in that decade. And I can remember the cursings and the spitting and the throwing of things at them when they would come home. And we need to gather and remind ourselves, plus all of our neighbors and friends and family, that we say thank you for your serving. Time of war, time of peace. It takes it 24/7, 365, no matter what the MOS is. Every one of them deserve a pat on the back and a thank you. And I hope every single one of you, every single person that's in this room, every single person that is listening and anybody else in the community shows up to say thank you to our veterans. And I also want to make a comment again to this board that I've made before. Some in this audience have heard it. Folks, we have Veterans Memorial Park. We have nothing at our Veterans Memorial Park to indicate that's what it is except a sign. There's nothing there. And I'll be glad to bring you pictures of my little hometown and what they did with donations, with the county population somewhere in the neighborhood of about 20% of what the population of this city is, and what they did and how they pulled together and did things. And we need to get something going. Mayor, I'm going to challenge you as mayor to take a look at it, and you all can discuss it. Sometime it's not a vote on anything, and Counselor, I don't know if it's illegal or not, but I wouldn't think so. Talk about putting together a group, a committee, to begin looking at it. There are a lot of people here. One gentleman a few months ago, Sarah Boner, said on Facebook, I'm an architect. I'll be glad to help do the design on it, or let's put it out. And a lot of discussion. And once again, it's kind of fallen to the backside, but let's bring it back up again so that next year when they come, we've got something and we can take them down Floyd Mayfield and have a welcoming committee there so that everybody knows what that is. And we're using it for what it's named for. Any questions?
No, but Chief, you'd be happy to know that Parks and Rec Advisory is taking that as their next project.
I did not know that.
Maybe AC can speak to that when he gets up there a little bit.
I did not know that. We've talked about it for the last, how long have I been here?
5 years.
3.5 years that I've been here, yeah. Thank you all. We appreciate you. Thanks for your support. Ricky, thank you for reminding us why we're here. We're here to serve. Remind you of what you'll see on every Laverne PD business card. What we do for ourselves dies with us. What we do for others in the world remains and is immortal. That's why the good Lord put us here.
Thank you, Chief. Next to be Codes, Randolph.
Evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Aldermen. The monthly report for April 2015 is as follows. Single-family dwellings, there were 0 permits for the month. There were 2 commercial permits for a valuation of $1.4 million. 8 miscellaneous permits, 1 sign permit, 5 others to include additions and remodels, 15 mobile homes, 2 commercial plan review, for a total number of permits for the month were 31. Total number of permits valued at $2.3 million to this community. Plumbing permits were 3 residential and 1 commercial. Mechanical permits, there were 2 and 1 commercial, 2 single family, 1 commercial. Complaints called in as we've expected. Tall grass, it was 163 for the month, 6 junk cars and 78 others. Building inspections, there were 121. Commercial inspections and fire inspections combined, there were 57 for the month, 186 on the year. Impact fees were road total year-to-dates are $43,955. For parks, it's $2,177 year-to-date. Police, it's $698.68, and year-to-date $84,571.65. Total number of single-family permits issued year-to-date have been 8. Total number of single-family permits during the same time period last year was 23. Total number of permits included all this year-to-date were 86. Any questions?
Thank you, Randolph. Next to be Park and Rec, AC.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman. You see our report for the last month. We had a lot of things coming up this month. We got May the 4th summer camp program that started sign-ups. So this coming Friday, we have the senior prom down here at the multipurpose building, if anybody's interested in coming to that. And senior prom meaning for the senior citizens. So it's usually a lot of fun. They dress up and we have a big time. So, and then on May 30th, the seniors are also going to have a yard sale. So you can rent tables for $10. We don't have very many, so if you want to rent a table and bring some of your stuff out and sell it, call the senior center and reserve your table before they're all gone. We did 3 major projects in April. replaced electrical disconnect at irrigation booster pump, and replumbed and installed 3 new drinking fountains in the park, which was badly needed. And then we built the wall in the HR department. We estimate, had we contracted that out, it would have cost us $10,000 more than it did. So we saved about $10,000 by doing it in-house. Also, to speak to the Veterans Memorial thing, we have been taking prices for flagpoles, and Julie is pursuing several different companies for bricks. What we're trying to do is get sponsor bricks so that people purchase them, and once we get so many bricks bought, then we start building a wall, and then we'll take another, say, 100, and once we get that 100, we'll add on to the wall. We're thinking that we would like to represent with 3 flagpoles: American flag, a POW flag, and also the Tennessee state flag. That's what we're shooting for right now. There's some challenges. It's going to be, we want to put it right at the front of the park, ideally. We have that big slab up there where we were going to, somebody, I guess years ago, was going to put a helicopter or a tank or something out there, but for whatever reason, transportation issues, they didn't do it. But I'm thinking right up there in the front of the park. Like Tom said, the Parks Advisory Committee has spoke about this a few times, and we're trying to get the ball rolling, but it's a big project. So grant money or donations or like sponsor bricks and everything else, but we're moving in that direction. So my wish is to have it, like you said, Chief, this time next year we'll be talking about how good it looks. So, any questions? Oh, the tournament? Yeah, as Chief pointed out, we had a Rutherford County Middle School tournament. Was that last week, wasn't it? Yeah, 3 days. They had a big time. Who ended up winning that? Oakland, that's right, you told me that. Oakland ended up winning it though, but they, from what Chief says, has been bragging about us for the past week or so on how good everything went. So we did have a really good turnout. They were really good to concessions. So it was like a BPA tournament. It was huge, but it was a really good tournament.
That was people from all over Rutherford County.
Yes.
All the middle school softball teams came here and played this weekend at a weekend tournament. So many parents and even coaches were telling me again how great it was, how good Laverne was to them, and how much they appreciated it.
Yeah, it's a really nice ball fields up there. We're trying to keep them that way. But any other questions?
I just have one. If someone wanted to make a donation towards the Veteran Park project, who would they turn that into?
Well, I guess that they could either bring it to the Parks Department or bring it here to City Hall, and maybe, Phyllis, I guess we could work on setting up some kind of account so that we could put that money straight into that account, and that would be allocated just for the Veterans Memorial thing. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, AC. Next will be Finance, Phyllis.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Aldermen. Tonight's financial report represents 9 months into our fiscal year. For the general fund, revenues are right at $21.8 million, and that does include almost $6 million in bond proceeds. Expenditures are right at $16 million. Local sales tax, we've collected almost $4 million in 2000. That's $627,000 better than what we budgeted for at this time, and about $655,000 better than prior year. For the State Street Aid Fund, the expenses have exceeded revenues by approximately $58,000. Stormwater Fund revenues have exceeded expenditures by approximately $288,000. And in our Water Sewer Fund, revenues have exceeded expenditures by approximately $1.9. Second page represents our balances in our various bank accounts. And the third page represents a comparison to prior year. For our general fund, revenues are up about $7 million. Expenses are up about $2 million. The revenues basically are most of the bond proceeds that we haven't spent yet. That's for the fire trucks that we're starting to make those payments here pretty shortly. Expenses are up about $2 million, and we know that we made that second installment or the final installment on the fire department, so that's that $2 million. That's why we're up in expenses. In our water sewer fund, revenues are up about $593,000. Expenses are up about $538,000, and the tap fees are up about $29,500. Questions?
Thank you, Phyllis. Library, Donna.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Aldermen, good evening. For the month of April, there were 6,244 items checked out. 8,245 were in attendance in the library with an average of 344. We issued 122 cards. We had 51 library programs with an attendance of 823. Our total computer users, 2,753. We're happy to be able to give some one-click digital, that is our e-audios and our e-books, give you some statistics. We had 131 patrons that requested a registration number. 51 of those have signed up, and we've had 74 checkouts. So we're really excited about that. We look for that just to continue to grow. During National Library Week, which was April the 12th through the 18th, the library provided Food for Fines program. Patrons with overdue fines were offered the opportunity to have up to $1 waived for each food item that they donated. Through this program, approximately 232 items were donated, and that food was given to the Smyrna Laverne Food Bank. This month, our adults can participate in our crafting class by Mary on Monday, May 18th at 6 p.m., and the project is making a stress-relieving foot soak. We hope to have a lot of people in there. There is no cost, but registration is required. Also on Thursday, May 28th at 6 p.m., as the page turns, Adult Reading Group will be discussing the book Monday, Monday, written by Elizabeth Crook. Now, story times will not be held during the month of May as our children's department prepares for a much-anticipated superhero summer reading program. And our themes this year for the children, Every Hero Has a Story. For our teens, Unmask. And our adults, Escape the Ordinary. Now, normally, you all would be cringing about this time at the thought of what costume I'm going to don and to raise excitement about our summer reading program. But due to no telephone booth in the room, I can't change. So you're going to have to let that anticipation just mount until our summer reading kickoff that's planned for Saturday, May 30th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Children, teens, and adults can sign up and enjoy popcorn and drinks. We will continue sign-ups all the way through June and July, and there will be many fun programs and activities, but most importantly, there's going to be shelves full of books waiting to be read because reading is a superpower. Do you have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. Water treatment, Thomas.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman, Bruce. What we have here is our report for the month of March of this year. Just touch on a few points. In our critical issues, the plant processed 80.7 million gallons of water and delivered 76.4. The number's a little bit different this month. We had a lot of maintenance issues with our membrane, the recovery unit that we use for the lagoon water. So we tried to coordinate them together as taking care of the maintenance issues and cleaning the lagoon, but we were in a very wet month and had some maintenance issues in the collection system, so that we kind of stretched it out all month and didn't really do a real good job at it, so we're going to try it again in June. Our flushing program, teams went out just flushing 5 sites, keep the water moving through the city. There was no line breaks or no new line samples. Cross connections picking up a lot of speed because everybody's putting their backflow devices back in for springtime to keep their water going. Our maintenance for the month was at a little over $5,700, and technical issues, we only had 8 quality calls for the month. 2 were appearance, 6 were in pressure. That's really about all I have. It was a pretty simple month. Questions?
Thank you, Thomas.
If I may close with one comment, our water and our operators are committed to the safety of drinking water system, and that's what we rule it as. The secondary use of it is for fire, and our operators are just as proud when they delivered all the water that they can to save and protect lives also. And I'd just like to say Thank you, Ricky, for what you do. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Thomas. Next be Public Works, Garland.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Alderman, Bruce. This is for the month of April. We had a total of 50 requests for brush pickup, with 728 pickups, 46 loads at 125,000 pounds. We had a total of 484 hours in the workhouse with 121 work orders for the month. Special project we had MARTA this month for all the city vehicles. And I think we had about 3 that didn't pass, but they're ready to go back at any time. They've worked on them in the shop. For vehicle repairs, we had a total of 31, 26 in-house and 5 out. Total of 21 oil changes. Busy month with the grass. All the pretty weekends we're having, people's cutting all their Bradford pears and their trees, so we're getting a lot of calls for that. But other than that, we got a project we're going to be starting on here probably the next day or two on Blair Road, so beware.
That project's well overdue.
I'll be there at 6.
I'll
Any
bring
more
my
questions?
chainsaw. I'll bring my chainsaw.
Any questions?
Thank you. Next will be utility, Michael.
Mayor, Alderman, good afternoon. For the month of April 2015, the Water Department had a total of 118 work orders, 2 new meter sets. We answered 128 Tennessee 1 calls. We did have 1 mainline break. That doesn't reflect what Thomas reported, but if we have a break that we can fix under pressure, we don't have to take a back T sample to the plant. So we fix under pressure, that's not called for. 4 service line breaks. We had an estimated 4,325 gallons of water not sold. We made 25 repairs to fire hydrants. AMR project was 82 for the month. That'll probably be the last time we report Project AMR. It is completely finished from the residential standpoint, and we may be contracting those out going forward, but for Public Works, we're pretty much wrapped up, I believe, there. We had a total of 5.5 hours overtime in the Water Department. On down to sewer, we had 109 total work orders, 84 service call, 25 pump station, had 2 final grinder pump inspections. We rebuilt 8 grinder pumps in-house, and we inspected and repaired 5 manholes throughout the city with a total of 28.5 hours overtime.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Human Resources, Cheryl. Oh, there you go.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman. Here's the report for the Department of Human Resources. We had 5 external jobs posted, 293 applicants, 37 NeoGov job interest cards, 1 employee resignation, 0 terminations. We had 3 workers' compensation claims, 2 liability claims, a total of 96 Care Here appointments with 3 no-shows, 288 Care Here enrollments, and I need to make a correction. I received a late report. We had 3 HRAs conducted, so I just received that about 4 o'clock this afternoon. Total employee and dependent claims, 203. Total claim dollars, $198,280. Are there any additional questions or comments?
Thank you, Cheryl. That ends our reports. We're going to move into the old business. Number 3, second reading, ordinance 2015-06, ordinance to amend the Title 12, Chapter 6, Section 12-602 of the Laverne Municipal Code requiring modification of residential codes. Bruce?
Yes, sir, Mayor. I'm going to turn it over to Evan to explain the vote that was held at the special meeting.
Mayor, yeah, no, I'm glad to do that, and this is for the benefit of the board and for the members of the public to understand what happened at the meeting earlier. What transpired from a parliamentary standpoint was the vote was not completed at the time the meeting was adjourned. So the practical effect of that is that the ordinance that is pending was not voted on. So there'll have to be a second hearing or second meeting in order for the ordinance to be considered, and that would be set subject to whatever you decided you wanted to do.
So we're looking at having a special meeting next Thursday, May the 14th at 5:30, if all of you can be there for that. And we will basically redo the special meeting that we had earlier and have the second reading on this ordinance again.
That being said, we probably need to defer this.
Yes, sir.
Item 3, so need a motion to defer.
I'll make a motion to defer.
Got a motion and a second.
Second.
Second. Everybody in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion deferred. Moving on to number 4. Excuse me. Second reading ordinance 2015-07, an ordinance to amend Title 18, Chapter 3 of the Laverne Municipal Code regarding the sewer uses ordinance. We discussed this in the workshop. Motion to approve or deny.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Need a second?
Second.
Got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No ayes. Motion carries. Moving on to number 5, second reading, ordinance 2015-08, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2014-2015 general fund budget for changes to the Human Resource Department staffing.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion to approve, motion second. All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. We're down to consent agenda. Number 6, we discussed it in length in the workshop. Nobody had anything approved. Need a motion to approve or deny the consent agenda items. Need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved. Need a second.
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye. All
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries on the second, on the consent agenda. Moving to new business. Point or remove board members, committee members. A, Economic Development Advisory Committee, 1 term vacant. Bruce, we had one applicant, Floyd Dennis.
Yes, sir. We received one application today from Floyd Dennis.
Motion to appoint Floyd Dennis.
We got a motion to appoint Floyd Dennis. Need a second.
Second.
Got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carries. B, Senior Citizen Advisory Committee, 1 term is vacant and 3 terms expired. We have no applicant, new applicant, but but the 3 applicants wanting to stay on. One is Kay Jones, Grace Morello, and Silver Pettigo.
Yes, sir.
Sybil.
Need a motion to approve them to stay on. Need a motion to approve
Motion.
or deny. Motion to approve, second.
Second.
Motion approved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carries. Number 8, first reading ordinance 2015-10, an ordinance of the city of Laverne, Tennessee, adopt an annual budget and tax rate for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2015 through June 30th of 2016. We talked this again in the workshop. Need a motion to approve and a motion to deny.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Need a second.
Second.
Got a motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Down to number 9, first reading ordinance 2015-11, an ordinance to amend the city rezoning as an offering financial service. Received a favorable recommendation from the Planning Commission on April 28, 2015. We discussed this at workshop. Need a motion to approve or deny.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve, need a second.
I second.
Motion to approve, the second. All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Ordinance carries. Down to number 10, a resolution 2015-5, a resolution to write off water department bad debts. Something we do every year. This is
I make a motion to approve.
motion to approve, need a second.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And resolution carries. Number 11, resolution 2015-06, a resolution to write off uncollectible property tax accounts. We discussed it in a workshop. I don't think we've done this for like 3 or 4 years, but this is a lot of personal property, people that's moved, that can't be found, and need a motion to approve or deny this resolution.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve, need a second.
I second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Resolution carries. Number 12, a resolution 2015-07, a resolution of the City of Laverne Board of Mayor and Aldermen to declare certain property owned by the city to be surplus, and city needs to direct disposal of the same.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve, need a second.
I second.
Got a motion, a second. All in favor say aye.
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 The resolution carries. Number 13, a resolution, excuse me, a resolution to amend the personal rules and procedures manual to add in an employee rehire policy. I think Cheryl explained this in the workshop. Need a motion to approve or deny this resolution.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve, need a second.
I second.
A motion, a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. All in favor. Resolution passes. Number 14 is a motion to approve an agreement with High Right and Cairo to conduct a background check for the Human Resource Services. This is another that we discussed in workshop. Need a motion to approve or deny this motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion, need a second.
Second.
Got a motion, a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. This motion carries. Down to number 15, motion to approve offer for the Assess Federal Credit Union to purchase a portion of the unused right-of-way between Walden Road and Old Walden Road. That's out there by the Coca-Cola plant. The applicant has offered $56,000. The city had appraisal of $76,000. We need to make a motion of what we're gonna take. I'm opening it up for, anybody make a motion?
Can I make a motion to discuss it
After we get a second.
after a second?
Second.
We got a motion, is that what we need to do it, Bruce?
Defer to Mayor, Evan on that. Well,
We discuss it before the second or
you
after?
technically have to have a motion and a second to discuss whatever the motion is. If the motion, as I understand it, from Alderman Brown is to discuss it, it's received a second, so you'll need to have a vote on the motion and then you can discuss it.
Okay. We have a vote, vote on the motion to discuss. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We open it up.
I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rule.
I
Have
second.
someone from Ascend to come forth.
Anybody from staying here, you come up to the podium.
Have a motion on the table.
Yeah, we need to have a vote on the
Have a
motion.
motion on the table to suspend the rule.
Okay. Motion to suspend the rules. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion, rules are suspended. Sorry about that.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Board of Aldermen. My name is Matt Jernigan. I'm the Chief Operations Officer for Ascend. And as noted in the workshop, we made the offer of $56,000, outlined the mutual benefits to both Ascend and the City of Laverne for the future development, but certainly entertain any questions.
I guess one question I've got, the city hired a appraisal to appraise it, and it come back 76,000. And y'all offered 56,000. I guess my theory is, what's the rationale of y'all offering 56,000?
We contended that the appraisal looks at fair market value, looks at comparable sales. This property, once we develop our branch location, really has no marketability. So that was the approach we took in outlining. Again, it allows us to shift our development closer to where the right-of-way will be, frees us up to sell the existing property of the excess that we had to purchase. And so we think it'll allow us to sell that more quickly, have better circulation for both our development and the future development of retail group or whoever we choose to sell the remaining lot to. And that's where we got the figures that we outlined as far as sales tax dollars and then retail sales, property tax dollars and then retail sales tax dollars, that it would benefit the city as well.
And I also believe it would benefit you all to sell it as well. And I believe you offered 56. I'd like to just go ahead and make a motion, meet in the middle. I don't want to undervalue property and set a precedent. So I'd like to make a motion of, say, $66,000. That way we've met in the middle, and because you'll benefit from it, yes, as well as the city. So
that would be acceptable to the credit union.
We need a second.
Motion been made. Can we go on and get a second?
We need a second.
Okay. Motion been made by Alderman Broker to put it for 66,000. I need a second on this motion to sell this property for 66,000. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. Am I doing it right?
Yes, sir. The one thing I would add would be we will have to have a real estate sales contract, which I'll prepare. So probably to be safe, I might ask Alderman Broker to amend his motion to direct me to draw a contract for sale for $66,000.
I'd like to make the motion allowing the city attorney to drop a sales contract for $66,000.
I second the motion.
Second, first and second on 66,000 with the stipulation with the mayor. Is now the time to mention anything about right-of-ways, or this comes in later? About right-of-way dedication. Do we need to put this in the package or?
I don't know the answer to that.
Are they still coming before the planning commission?
I don't know.
The site plan will be, yeah.
Okay, then at that time.
That'd be the time of right-of-way dedication.
We usually would put that in, as a site plan approval, that it'd be contingent on, or not contingent, they'd have a requirement of the right-of-way issues or anything that would need to be taken care of. They'll have to take care of as part of the motion usually.
Motion tonight.
No, the motion through the planning commission.
Okay, got a motion and a second.
Mayor, first you'll need to vote on the amendment to the motion. Once that amendment is approved, then you'll go to the other motion.
Okay. Need a vote on the amendment. Need a motion to.
We have the motion. We need to vote.
Need a vote.
Aye.
Everybody say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Now we need to go into the.
Now you need to have a vote on the motion to purchase the property for $66,000 and direct the city attorney to draw up the sales contract for that transaction.
Need a motion to sell the property for $66,000. Let the attorney draw up the documents. Need a motion and a second.
You already have the motion second, you just need to vote.
Need a vote on it, okay. And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. With that, all that said, we're down to mayor and alderman comments. Kathy, did you get somebody who's gonna mention that about the Tom thing? We'll start with you, Mr. Jones.
Thank you, Mayor, Alderman. First of all, I'd like to read a news release about there's a free breakfast that's going to be serving active members and veterans of military service in Laverne this weekend on Saturday, May 9th, 9 o'clock to 11 a.m. Military personnel, as well as people serving in emergency services, are invited to the Laverne Senior Citizens Center at 337 Stones River Road for a breakfast hosted by Meg's Playhouse and Preschool. I'd like to go on record and say thanks to Meg's Playhouse and Preschool for this offer. Also, I'd like to tack on to the chief's comment and just let him know that I'm in total agreement of the statement made, and I thank him for making that statement. At no time, one thing that I'm sure that all of us can come together on and agree on is no one's life is worth any building or any object. So again, I am not a fireman, but I do understand the way that Chief Culverson explained. That was a very articulate explanation of it, and it saddens me that people actually let this social media become a part of their life. I mean, it's just not necessary. I mean, get on the phone and talk to people if you just have to find out something about it. It doesn't make any sense to, you're giving your own opinion, and one opinion on something is just that. It's your opinion, and it's totally one-sided. I mean, I don't even read the thing. I got a daughter that brings me, she'll read it, and she'll come back and she'll tell me that she saw my name on it. I just tell her, you know, I explain to her, if I let those words in that social media hurt me, there's no way I would have ever even come out of the house.
You're right
a lot of
about
times.
that.
It makes no sense. But, you know, I'm just thankful to God I'm in a country where you're allowed to do it. Say what you want to say. But if you feel that you get something out of hurting people by saying things on social media, you might need to look into your own soul and check yourself out. That's all I need to say, Mayor. Thank you.
Very good.
Alderman Broker.
Yes, sir. Saturday is our cleanup at the boat ramp, Hurricane Creek boat ramp. 9 o'clock, is it? 9 o'clock start. And then afterwards, I believe there'll be some hot dogs, hamburgers, and so on that are going to be cooked. And if it's okay with this board, I'd like to defer a couple minutes to Allison Kerrigan and Justin Blair, the rescue squad. They want to promote an upcoming event or something that, if that's okay with this board, have them come up.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Alderman. Thank you, Tom, for the invitation to allow us to come up and talk to you. Laverne Rescue will be partnering with the National Safe Boating Council on an event called Ready, Set, Wear It. This is the 6th annual event for them. Ready, Set, Wear It Life Jacket is a world record day, and it's going to take place on May 16th, 2015, which is not this Saturday, but the Saturday following. Participants in cities from around the globe will gather and set a world record for the most life jackets that are worn and inflatable life jackets inflated. The goal is not only to promote the comfortable and versatile options when it comes to life jackets, but to also educate the public about the life jackets and safe boating in general. Ready, Set, Wear It will usher in National Safe Boating Week with this event on the 16th, and that week is the 16th through the 22nd. These efforts are a part of a year-long campaign to promote safe and responsible boating, the North American Safe Boating Campaign. Boating safety partners across the U.S. and Canada are teaming up to educate the public about safe life jacket wearing and safe boating. The world record last year was 6,973 participants, and with this event, We are just teaming up with them, and we are going to host it at Hurricane Creek Boat Ramp, and it will go from 11 to 3. And so our way of proving that we participate in this event, we will share photos and videos, and we'll have a sign-up sheet. So we want to invite the board, the city, the police department, the fire department, all volunteer organizations, Box 100. We'd like everyone to help us get the word out, to come show us your life jackets and help promote boating safety for our community and communities around us. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm good.
Alderman Brown.
Just like to also agree with Ricky. Great job on that fire, by the way. We saved all the lives. We didn't necessarily save the building, but we saved all the lives, and that is what's most important. But as far as the media stuff, it's okay to have your opinion voiced on whatever site you choose, but think about the fact that you really are representing your community when you do it. And just if you're keeping your words and knowing that you represent the community whenever you speak on social media, I think that would be very helpful to help the city come together a little bit better. Also, it'll help with economic development as well. Businesses do look at how the community interacts, and that could be your tax dollars. That could be businesses that come in here that will save you money so that property taxes don't have to go up, or that your other bills don't have to go up. So just keep that in mind. You are representing the whole community. So thank you.
Vice Mayor Green.
I have never looked at Facebook, and I don't intend to ever look at it, but I've heard enough about it. I've heard enough about me from other people too. That's fine. It doesn't bother me at all. But I cannot see how anybody could get any pleasure out of hurting somebody else. I mean, if you don't like somebody, that's okay. You don't have to like everybody. We're supposed to love everybody, but I'm sure we don't. But anyway, it doesn't, like I say, it doesn't bother me because I have never once looked at it. So whatever they say about me, that's fine.
I want to say something about the fire department. The day after, I went over and I rode around the structure, and they lost the building, but it wasn't nothing around the building that was lost, and that's saying a lot with the trees and the congestion. It was real lucky that the fire was at the time it was at, because it was happened 2 hours sooner. Everything was congested over there, and the fire department couldn't even get up there close to it. It was one way in, one way out. You had the trees, you had the cluster of buildings. That was a worse scenario for a fire. If it would have been beside the fire department or 10 miles from the fire department, I believe the objective would have been the same. But I didn't see no trees burned. I didn't see no other buildings burned. And I think they've done a great job just containing just to that building. And I got to ride in one of the new fire trucks yesterday, and it's one fine piece of machinery. And we're lucky to have it. And congratulations to the rescue squad. Like I said in the workshop, they received a grant from the firehouse subs to get a recovery boat and a trailer and a recovery bag. And weather's warming up. Be sure your animals has got good fresh water. The day is Cinco de Mayo. If you get out and drink, don't drive. And May is Bike Awareness Month. And keep the prayers for the Jordan family. They got one that's recovering from surgery. Keep them in their prayers. And wish everybody have a good rest of the month. I'll call this meeting adjourned.